The National Electrical Code, or NEC, specifically Article 110.34 addresses electrical equipment in enclosures. Paragraph B of this section concerns enclosed equipment that is not conductive to ground. This section states that electrical equipment such as transformers, lightning arresters, capacitors, switches, circuit breakers, meters, and similar equipment, if installed in metal enclosures or metal raceways not connected to ground, must be treated as uninsulated with respect to the enclosure. Such equipment must be isolated from ground or connected to ground through a ground fault detection system. However, there is an exception to this rule. The exception states that this requirement does not apply to equipment in a metal enclosure where the circuit conductors are terminated by connectors or terminals that are designed and listed to provide adequate electrical separation between the metal enclosure and the circuit conductors. Considering this exception, air filters are not classified as electrical equipment. Therefore, they do not fall under the requirement to be isolated from ground or connected to a ground fault detection system as stipulated in Article 110.34b of the NEC. Consequently, the NEC does not explicitly prohibit the storage of air filters within a substation room. This determination is contingent on the condition that the air filters do not come into direct contact with any electrical equipment or conductors within the substation. The primary concern is maintaining safe clearances and preventing any obstruction to ventilation or access to electrical equipment for maintenance and operation. To ensure compliance and safety, there are several factors to consider. Firstly, the air filters must be stored in a manner that does not impede access to electrical equipment. The NEC mandates sufficient working space around electrical equipment for safe operation and maintenance. Secondly, ensure that the storage of air filters does not obstruct ventilation openings or cooling systems for the electrical equipment. Overheating can lead to equipment failure and potential hazards. Thirdly, the materials of the air filters should be non-conductive and non-flammable to minimize fire risks and electrical hazards. Fourthly, it is advisable to keep the air filters in their original packaging or in designated storage containers to prevent dust and debris from contaminating the electrical equipment. Fifthly, regularly inspect the storage area to ensure that the air filters remain clear of electrical equipment and that no hazards have developed. Sixthly, consult with a qualified electrical engineer or inspector to verify that the proposed storage plan complies with all applicable codes and standards. They can provide specific guidance based on the design and layout of the substation room. Seventhly, adhere to any specific guidelines or policies set forth by the facility management or the electrical utility company regarding storage in electrical rooms or substations. Eighthly, maintain a clear pathway for personnel to access and egress the substation room, ensuring that the stored air filters do not create a tripping hazard or obstruct emergency exits. Ninthly, consider the environmental conditions within the substation room such as humidity and temperature to ensure that the air filters are stored in a manner that prevents degradation or damage. Tenthly, implement a labeling system to clearly identify the stored air filters and to indicate any safety precautions or restrictions related to their storage. These precautions collectively ensure that the storage of air filters in the substation room does not compromise safety or operational efficiency. While the NEC does not explicitly prohibit such storage, adherence to these guidelines will help maintain a safe and compliant electrical environment.